In order for a movie to be interesting, every story must connect to their audience members, giving them relatable characters and storylines that allow the audience to escape into the narrative. Every movie that has successfully connected to the audience follows a similar formula known as the hero's journey. The hero's journey is comprised of 12 steps that each protagonist goes through, completing a full circle from the ordinary world through numerous trials and back to the ordinary world as an evolved character with a new outlook on life. To make it easier to understand, let's create a story to help visualize each step. So starting from the beginning, the protagonist, let's call him Bob, starts in the ordinary world. Bob is an uninspired and unsuccessful writer who decides to go fishing alone on his boat. Bob then experiences his call to action when a storm destroys his fishing boat and he is stranded on a deserted volcanic island. Once on the island, Bob tries desperately to build himself a raft, failing miserably with each attempt and refusing the call to action that the island provides. Then, a hermit, the only other person living on the island, comes out to the beach after Bob fails at building the raft and offers him his help. The hermit becomes Bob's mentor and agrees to help him learn how to survive on this island, teaching him how to hunt in the forest and how to build using the materials found on the island. Bob faces the challenge of learning new skills and learns what materials he can and cannot trust. He works with the hermit to build himself a small hut on the island. Bob becomes almost happy living on this island. Bob and the hermit then begin to make plans for a bigger and better raft, one that would take a lot of wood but would be sturdy and well built. Bob and the hermit live comfortably on the island for a while, until the volcano on the island erupts, flooding most of the island with lava and destroying the hut that Bob had built, killing the hermit in the process. Bob rushes to the water to escape, surviving along with only a few remaining trees and the remains of his crashed fishing boat. Bob then enters the stage of the death and rebirth as his creations are destroyed. Bob then comes to the realization that with his newly developed skills, the only way to survive and to get home would be to rebuild his wrecked boat. After the lava cools to where Bob can stand on it, he goes back on land and begins to gather the remaining materials he needs to repair his boat. He repairs the boat by using the new skills he had learned from the hermit. This brings Bob through the personal transformation stage and into the stage of atonement. By learning new skills, Bob's work has paid off and his ship is successfully repaired. Bob then begins his journey back, sailing in his newly repaired boat back towards home. The road back stage is completed when Bob successfully reaches home in his fishing boat. Bob has now reached the final stage of the hero's journey, his return to the ordinary world. Bob has returned to his home with newly found inspiration and a brand new set of skills. Bob has new inspiration for his writing because of his journey and begins writing a new book about his adventure, a future bestseller. Bob's trek through the 12 stages of the hero's journey, as well as the trek that all protagonists make, are what allows audience members to find characters relatable. Characters are only able to connect to their audience if they successfully complete the journey. When a character connects to its audience and is seen as relatable, it draws the attention of society, becoming a fascination to those who finally have a chance to see someone like them on screen.